Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another Some Greater News segment. I'm Britton Merritt, and we're so excited to have with us today Alicia Collins-Butler. She's the Senior Director of Education, Workforce, and Community Development here at the Chamber, and she's back as a guest again, and we're very excited about it. And today, we're going to talk about practicums. Now, I looked at Alicia and I was like, what's a practicum? So tell everybody a little bit about that.
Let's break it down. Simple terms, practicums are internships. Internships for high school students that give them practical real-world experience.
An internship for a high school student, that's such a weird concept to me because when I was in high school, you just studied for the test, you took it, and you graduated. So we know that there's been some huge changes in education to really prepare kids for not just college, but also career. So why are these internships so important?
Yeah, education has come a long way since you and I were in high school. Definitely has. Our students are exposed to a lot of industries, getting them prepared for the workforce. Eighth grade is a huge, important year for our students. They are gaining exposure to industries leading up into eighth grade. Once they hit eighth grade, they've got to fall into one of these state-designated buckets. We have 17 now. 16 of them are designated by the state. They're very broad. So a couple of examples: health science, STEM, entrepreneurship, business and marketing. We have a couple of agriculture practicums as well. So those are just to name a few. Of course, I told you there's 16 of them. We won't go through all of them, but there's definitely information on the website to categorize all of them.
So you're telling me a high school student, I'm in high school, I get to my senior year, I'm in one of these categories, right? So let's say I'm in health sciences. You all help me as an AISD senior find an internship? How does that work?
Yeah. So our high school students are taking their prerequisite classes from freshman year, and all of these prerequisites lead into a practicum in their senior year. We have roughly, I'm going to say, over 400 students every year that apply for our health science practicum. We certainly don't take that many, but we have a rigorous vetting program with AISD. So the Chamber's job is to vet the business side and to make sure it's an appropriate placement for a student. Our district is in charge of vetting the students. So they're looking at everything from making sure that they have the prerequisite classes, making sure that they have, they submit a resume. So they go through an academic review, a resume review. They do digital interviews, and then they interview with their pathway chair before they're ever selected. So when we look at things in terms of health science, we're going from 400 students down to, I think we're somewhere between 70 and 90 students. Last year was our largest class, and going into this year, I have been told that we're going to have our largest class ever. So our students are interning essentially to gain a certification at the end of the day, at the end of graduating.
Well, that's amazing. So when I'm interning, let's say, I'm working at I want to go into health sciences. What kind of certification do I get?
So our high school students, juniors primarily, are being certified in EKG and phlebotomy, or one or the other, in their junior year. So they're coming to a workplace with a skill set that allows them to actually be hands-on with patients once the environment and their preceptors or their supervisors are ready for them to engage with patients. We have wonderful, wonderful partnerships with Medical City Arlington as well as Texas Health Arlington Memorial Hospital that take roughly about 30 students each. So we are extremely grateful for their partnerships and being able to take those students as we rise, as our numbers rise.
So let's pivot a little bit. STEM, right? Engineering, science, technology, math. That's some heavy pressure going into engineering. And I know Lockheed takes students, so they really build trust with their students, I'm assuming. Can you tell us about how that works?
Yeah, so Lockheed Martin is one of our debut partners in this program, if you will. It started with 4 students going to Lockheed Martin, and it has worked so well that their internal program and infrastructure for interns has grown to 4 or 5 school districts now. supporting roughly about 15, 16 kids from every school. Those ones are highly, highly competitive. So those students, in addition to the rigorous vetting program that AISD does just to get them into the program, they are now going through essentially that onboarding process with a major defense contractor. So we work with Lockheed, we work with Bell. So those partnerships are strengthening every year as well.
So we're really lucky in this community to have these huge job creators like Lockheed Martin, Arlington Memorial, Texas Health Arlington Memorial, Medical City Arlington. But I'm a small business owner, let's say. Maybe I just need someone to help me with my marketing, or somebody that I want to come in and help with finances or something.
Mm-hmm.
As a small business owner, is there a place for me in a program like this?
100%. I would say that it is equally as important for our small businesses to get engaged. Most of our small businesses here are, working small mom and pop style shops, to where, they have limited staff and maybe are doing a side hustle for themselves that they're trying to make a main hustle. So we are trying to get our kids incorporated into that to be able to create these mutually beneficial relationships with our business partners, as well as giving our students real world experiences. So it's a no-brainer. It's like a one-to-one match of nothing but success for both parties.
So I'm a small business and I'm interested. Tell me a little bit about how I go about connecting with AISD and finding the right student.
So first of all, you're going to go to our Partners in Education webpage on the Chamber's website. There's an employer application form that's on our quick links section. There's a quick FAQ in there as well that will share a little bit more details about the program, allowing you to see what pathways are available, what works for you. I would highly encourage any of our businesses to look and think outside the box when you're looking for internships. Although you may be in STEM, but you may need marketing help as well. So you can actually tap two pathways and have students fluctuating in and out of on different days, different time schedules. So it works for you and it works for those that are going to be managing your students.
That's amazing. So to hit what Alicia said, you can go to arlingtontx.com/P.I.E, P-I-E, and there is a quick section there that gets you to the Practicum page. I know. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have one last thing to say, what would it be?
Do not hesitate to hire a high school intern. If you are starting with college interns, they're great. We support them. But if you're not thinking about high school, you've missed the boat.
And it's an awesome opportunity, and it really helps continue to grow that workforce pipeline we talk about so often.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you so much for joining us, Alicia. And for all of you watching today, stay tuned for more Some Greater News segments and have an awesome day.